I was live with you. I hear a noise. I look up at the sky and I see something flying right above me over the frost. A drone. And this drone isn't just passing by, but keeps filming the whole property continuously. And it's not even that high. It's pretty low. But, excuse me, it's right above mine. But gentlemen, now I feel like I'm one of the deniers. But this one is above. You can see it with the drone. This one is above me with the drone. And he's making videos. Right there, you immediately write to me, Matt, be careful, they're thieves.
Hey there, farmers. Hope you're all doing well. Did you get that from the intro?
We were live together, and we experienced this together because it caught me a bit off guard. Today, I'll tell you how it went from the beginning, what you saw live and what I recorded live, and then everything else. Because at the end of the live, when I turned everything off and was leaving, at a certain point, I see the person in the distance and decide to go talk to them, to clear things up and understand.
All right, what did they want?
They're there. I see you're filming. Why? Let's start at the beginning. Interestingly, I thought since I had to go to the garden, I didn't know what food was there. Let's do an Instagram live together. So I grabbed my phone, hit live, and bam, we're all live together. And so we started doing this live. I was walking around the garden and greenhouse, basically showing the vegetables. At a certain point, I hear a drone noise. There's also a drone. I don't know why. A drone. At one point, I see the drone flying over all the frost and covering the entire property. It starts to hover almost right above me and to turn the camera lens. On top of that, this drone wasn't very high. It was about 10 meters up, so it was right above me. And by showing it to you, we filmed it and I showed it to you. Because this thing seems strange to me. But excuse me, it's right above mine. But gentlemen, this one is above, but you can see it with the drone. This one is above me with the drone and is making videos. The point is that it wasn't a drone just passing from right to left. Brina was in the middle. It passed by me. It was a drone that was pretty stationary. This whole thing really bothered me because it's happened several times before. First of all, people would come to film Brina without telling me anything. And I would find images of Brina being used as advertising material. Brina looks nice from above and is pretty, but it's still private property. So this thing really bothered me a lot. I also realized it wasn't just someone passing by, he was actually mapping Brina. It's like he kept going around the whole perimeter and looking at every single detail. The fact that it was so low really worried me. I said, why is he filming like that, mainly focusing on Brina? And here, many of you wrote it to me in the comments right there live, and I immediately freaked out. In fact, I didn't know. But this is one of the main ways thieves use to go steal from farms. Let me explain the mechanism a bit. A good thief, before carrying out the job, has to do a reconnaissance. He needs to understand exactly how the whole structure is, what the escape routes are, what the entry points are, what equipment there is, and what loot he wants to steal. He also needs to determine the movements, schedules, and if anyone is working there. In short, a series of pieces of information that are really important to pull off a heist that hits the mark and is as productive as possible. Now you can understand well that the best way to do a reconnaissance is with a drone flying over a property. You can map it well, you can film it, so you take pictures, you take a lot of them, and you have time at home to review the images. You can clearly understand each point and thoroughly review a plan. And in addition, you can already go and take some photos. You can already go and trace the machinery that's there, the model that's there. You can start doing some research to begin to understand if there's a market, to understand if that tractor and that machinery can have any value and how much, and how risky it is to pull off that job based on how much it could yield. And this thing really worried me. At the Brina, there's nothing of value. At most, you'll find the grillinette and a few shovels and maybe some potatoes we forgot in the field. But at the Brina, there are the animals. I've had bad experiences, which I've mentioned before. When they mapped the farm where the donkeys were, to throw stones at the donkeys, to hurt the donkeys, and also you have to think about something beautiful, but also very ugly. If I add up all the people who follow me on the various social networks, we might reach almost 1 million. Now, if I told you that out of 1 million wonderful people in our community, there is 0.00001% of them who are bad people, who are people that want to hurt me, we would still be talking about a very high number. And so that's where the concern started. What is he doing? I kept going on with the live stream, but this thing kept bombarding my mind. What's happening? Oh, he's still up there. I'm making my damn video. And no, but this thing really puzzles me. I have a drone up there that I don't know whose it is that keeps flying over me, filming me, but it keeps circling above. But this thing here is unsettling. Why are you filming me? This is my property. At a certain point, I end the live stream, I go out, I close the gate, I get ready to enter the street, to turn left like I usually do. I also look to the right to see if any cars are coming, and I notice a car and a person in the field. Someone odd is in the neighbor's field, so I say we need to leave. I have to go and understand what's happening because maybe they're not targeting me, but maybe they're also looking at other neighbors' farms. And I wish I could tell you that we're all young guys like me. There are also nearby farms where, well, the other farmers are a bit older. Well, in my opinion, I go also as a civic gesture. First of all, I stop to film the car because I think it's his car. Let's get some info just in case, since the situation is getting out of hand. The car is this one here. Now, he must have run away. He went down here. I don't know who he is, what he does. I'd like at least a little to understand. Did you get it? Let's go in and see. Then I go onto the field. I step onto the field because I saw him go in there. I saw some movement. I look and I don't see anyone anymore. Now I don't see him. That one was near the car, but I'm not sure if the car is his. He went that way, and I don't know after that. I don't know where he is. I'll take a quick look and we'll figure it out. Do you know what trouble you've gotten me into? The suspicion of thieves is real, but there's nothing to steal. I'll also ask the neighbor if he saw them, since his vehicles are down there too. But this isn't right. Look at this. I mean, he just needed to come and tell me, hey, look, I need to film some things, look over there, look over there. Now I'll get there with the car. I go straight to him. At a certain point, I get out of the car and go toward him. I'm not being aggressive. I don't want to hurt him. I don't want to. Anyway, I just want to clear things up. I want to understand why he's doing this. And I'd also like to make him understand that what he's doing is something that's not right. You're flying over private property. Let's see what he says. You see? He's there. But I want to understand who he is, what he does, and so on and so on. Hi, I see you're filming. Can I ask you why? No, especially not the property above.
I didn't mean to film your stuff. I was just testing the drone and watching where I was going, that's all.
No, I'm telling you because later you'll be great and all that. I don't doubt it. But usually that's how thieves act on farms.
No, I'm not, I swear.
They go, map the area, then return later.
No, I'm doing the sanding.
Since there's also, even the neighbor asked me, is that you with the drone?
Sorry, I didn't mean to. I just didn't think.
No, then I won't tell you. That's why later, when things like this get stolen, it's difficult.
No, sorry. I was just...
That's all. Maybe next time.
Write down my license plate if you want.
No, come in. I'll give you the land to stay on instead. That's enough.
I'll find a place in the countryside to go try it out.
No, the issue is that some people do bad things. Understand? They map, since we are agricultural companies, they are agricultural.
No, you're right. I honestly didn't even think about it.
That's it. Next time, just come too, okay? I'll let you start as well. All right. Come on. Bye. You're welcome. Don't worry. I understand this stuff, but unfortunately, there are a lot of people who just come too. Look, I'm telling you, Most farms will let you stay in their yard. You just need to have the assurance, because unfortunately there are a lot of people today who do things. I mean, we also have some animals, and sometimes there are people who take the animals and do bad things to them, Afterwards, yeah, I know, but it's not out of malice, okay? It's only that. Bye. Don't worry, bye. Now everything ended well. I also noticed that he was a good guy. I also noticed that he was a passionate guy who was really hurt because he didn't imagine any of this. But I want to try to make some considerations that I think are important. First consideration. We live in a society where unfortunately we're bombarded from morning to night with unpleasant events, which are probably just a tiny part compared to what happens normally. 3/4 of people are good people, decent people, but we're always bombarded with news showing that bad things happen. And so our mind immediately goes there. We go straight into defense mode. So even if someone is probably just filming for themselves because they just got a drone as a gift, or wants to try the drone, where should they go? In the countryside. We immediately think the worst. We immediately think of thieves. We immediately think, oh God, could it be someone who wants to harm my animals? We think about a series of factors. And this thing, in my opinion, we need to analyze it as a society as well. Why have we become like this? Why have I become like this? Second point, you're still flying over private property. My children could be there could be vehicles. I might not like the fact that you're mapping my private property anyway. Maybe I'm walking around in my underwear, of course, in the middle of the field. Maybe I'm not. But you understand that we also need to regain a sense of private property, which may be in contradiction with what I told you before. I mean, we always think the worst, but sometimes we feel a bit too free, and we see everything just around our own navel. Instead, in my opinion, inside your own home, which is fenced, which is defined, I don't do whatever I want. But I need to feel both safe and still feel free, to relax a bit so I can feel comfortable. Knowing that there's someone above the property, that someone is hovering with a drone over the property, is not something that makes you feel comfortable. I don't think anyone would. The third thing is connected to the second. It's true that anyone can go and fly their drone wherever they want, but everything could have been resolved. If this person saw me, saw Brina, who is wonderful, I know it from above because you see her in the videos too, she's beautiful. If he had come in and said to me, look, can I fly my drone? Can I take off here from the parking lot? If he had asked me, I swear to you, I would have told him yes without any problem. Maybe I would have told him, look, maybe don't hover too much over the animals, don't stay here too long, but I absolutely would have said yes. And sometimes this needs to be done too. I mean, let's put the three things together. Being more careful with other people's property. Go and ask for things, because sometimes people will answer you if you ask them in a positive way. And the third thing, this pushes people not to always think the worst, but to have a human attitude. Now, all of this is a misadventure that in any case ended well. With this, I can't just pretend nothing happened. A series of thefts are happening that sometimes end very badly on farms, which are also the most unfortunate because sometimes they're a bit isolated from the town. And even if you start shouting, unfortunately, no one hears you. So we still need to be careful. I don't know how to end this in a reasonable way. It went really well for me. Maybe down here in the comments, I gave you 3 ideas. Tell me what you think. I ask you not to speak from your gut, but to give a thoughtful judgment. For gut reactions, there are all the television shows and news programs that like to provoke them. Let's go, let's shoot them all with a rifle. That'll solve it. What I'm asking you instead is to try to make a change, to try to change this part of the world, to try to educate people. Who might think about it tomorrow? Because the second misadventure I have to tell you about, and I'll tell you about it next week, because here it's a daily occurrence, and I have to tell you about these misadventures. It's dogs that come and pee inside your property. And that will be a good topic, but we'll see that in the next episode, Farmer. See you in the next video. Bye, everyone.